Hello, I'm outside. It's getting dark. It's that time of year. It's getting close to December, and it's actually freezing cold, which is lovely, to be honest, because I get too hot when I'm carving. So, what I'm going to talk about today is uh, a little tip. It's not necessarily a tip about tools, it's actually a tip about using light to get the most out of sculpture. So I want to tell you a little story, and I don't know whether it's apocryphal, I don't know whether it actually happened, but I'd love to think it happened because I think it's brilliant. So uh, Rodin, the sculptor, was approached by a journalist and asked if he could do an interview with him and write about him, and because he was obviously a very interesting person and his sculptures are amazing. So Rodin said, okay, but you must meet me at midnight at my studio. And he said, okay, no problem. So Rodin met him at midnight at his studio and showed him around using the light of a single candle, and he said this is how sculpture is supposed to be viewed. So I just want to kind of demonstrate. I've got my Milwaukee die grinder here, which does have an LED light on, so it kind of gives an impression of forgive me starting it up so I can actually get the light going. But you can see how much the light actually changes the face. Let's get face on here. You've got very different kind of lights. As I move this quite strong LED light across the face, you get some very different lights showing up, and this sculpture is half finished. It's not nowhere near done yet, but you can see how very different light affects sculpture. And it's like I would urge people, never take photographs of sculpture with a face on flash, because you just wipe out all the detail. It's always good to have a strong directional light. So I quite often carve in my workshop with a searchlight, or not a searchlight, it's not Batman, one of those, a work light, that's the one. So I often carve in my workshop with a work light, and I move it round, because quite often it's very difficult to get symmetry, and so this face needs a little bit of work on it. This is a lady, a sort of 18th century lady, carrying a basket full of peat on her back, and this is heading up to Stornoway on the Isle of Lewis. So it's partly finished, but I just wanted to kind of demonstrate that really strong light can change the look of sculpture so much, and it shows up all of those little details. So there you go. So there's my Tuesday tip. Work with the directional light, but actually move it round a bit, because that really helps.